And welcome back. Picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. Get this Archon Pasture up last time as well. I think that's covering, yeah, that's helping, I think, with the leather. Just probably helping with the clothes. Could probably do with more clothes, it means we could probably do with more leather. This till in here, this is till in here. I think we're going to make that another Archon Pasture. One big pasture, it's going to have like 24 workers. There we go. And that one should build a little bit faster. Again, that'll provide more meat. 33. Let's bring the tilapia up to actually 100. And we're going to unpause a little bit of that. Let the current construction products finish. So that's the fishery over here and pastures over here. And then I think we'll do... Well, we'll start trying to build out some science. First with a little bit of admin, because there's a little bit of admin that I want, right? Probably do want to pick up execution, so that's another 5 admin. I am not too worried about things like work safety and counting and maintenance and that stuff, but that's actually probably good stuff to pick up fairly early on. And I do want to pick up organization 2, so we're looking like 25, 30. Maybe I'll splurge. We'll do 30. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough paper necessarily right away to do schools. Schools would probably be another one that would make sense to do. Go for like 30 administration, which will be like 30... Well, it'll be less than 30 humans, so we'll overshoot a little bit with humans, but we'll make like 30 workers worth of admin. And then we'll probably, at that point, swap over to something else. Maybe a little bit of innovation so we can start getting eggs coming in. Yeah, I think I also need a little bit of innovation to do gutstone. Well, I might need innovation to do paper making. I don't start with those unlocked. I don't start with papermaking or masonry unlocked. Okay, so I'll need some innovation for that. Oh, I need a little more water from the irrigation system. We want metal coming in. I'll actually put metal in there. That'll do it without having to change the number of people working in the system. So I suppose for that first bit of admin, I might need to import the paper for it. It actually consumes paper as a default. You're about done. You're done. And to support that, we're going to make fishery, fishing center. Anyway, those 15 fishermen probably actually make enough fish to feed all the Amivians alone. We'll have a little bit going off to the Dendorians, because the Dendorians like fish as well. But probably want a little bit more fish than that. Oh, the Gathimi like fish as well. Yeah, so probably want more fish than that. you got built. Should help more with the leather, which means if I need to do more clothes later, I should be good for the clothes. Okay, is the siege done? The siege should be pretty close to done. It'll take 32 men to get the last 2 to surrender. We'll wait a little bit longer. Okay, I think it's time to do a little bit of admin. Not sure if they changed up the admin building. Bits work differently. Bookshelf, shelf, carpet. It's the same. What's our 12? That's what else. That's till. Okay. At some point, I'm gonna want to tear out Old Town and rebuild Old Town, but at the moment, Old Town works. So we want like 30. So that building length is about right. Although in this case I'd have to cover one of the doors to make that work. Okay, that'll work. Oh, and then I need support things, right? So I don't think carpets alone, I don't think are going to be enough. The cramped bureaucracy, yeah. It's going to be enough space. Get the efficiency up high enough. Oh, plus if I could, I probably want to avoid having the fabric upkeep, so I probably want to avoid carpets. Yeah, no. Too dense. Too dense. So I'm gonna have to make it wider at least. Okay, that would work. It would be 30 spots. Let's get that built, get enough furniture, and then we'll figure out if we need paper to work the thing. If I need paper, I'll need to set them the import spot, and probably another little warehouse over here to store paper. Yeah, assuming I need paper, let's grab a warehouse. We can do a slightly bigger warehouse here. Although, do I want a bigger warehouse? That's a different predicament. Oh, I can't put it there because I'll be blocking the in-out. Let's put a warehouse there. That might end up being my paper warehouse. And then an import depot. Guess I need to import paper. If I don't, then I'll just tear that back out again. and they'll be fine. Over 50 in the Arc pastures, giving us a bonus. Nice to see. Nice to hear. Oh, and by default that's assigned to grain. Let's turn that off. Don't want that warehouse full of grain. Come on. Oh, game. Trying to do the click and drag and it's not playing along. I'm gonna do it slower with it, clicking a bunch of times. Okay, so paper is now a toggleable. Okay. If usage is enabled, the employees produce 3 times as much. And they, by default, produce 1. Humans have a 25% bonus, so we're actually making 37.5. Okay. So I don't need the paper yet. We will probably make this the paper warehouse, although I need to put the paper making industry someplace else. And obviously I'm going to have to give some time for the admin to kick in. So the next thing to work on, in a similar vein, thinking about it, do I have... My janitor probably isn't reaching far enough. Yeah, we're basically at saturation range for the janitor. Okay. I need another service block. I'm going to put a housing block first. So we're going to do a housing block, the service block. And then we'll do... Actually, I'll spurge. This is the human stuff. And the Dendorians. We're going to house the humans and the Dendorians together, I think. And they're going to be doing most of our industry, so... Giving them fairly large capacities for housing is not a terrible plan. I don't think those loyalties temporarily shoot up. Oh, thinking about it. I have... Let's send the guards out to actually go do guard duty. Although the guards, don't need to do too fancy. We'll give them some ceremonial armor and weapons. Already. Oh, and the siege at this point should be over. Oh, this is a good place for fiber. I'll leave this place just generating money for the moment. Specifically because I think I'm going to use it for fiber for making clothes. We'll move away from doing everything with leather. Take some fiber to cloth. Well, we need cloth for some other stuff as well, but also do clothing. Twitchat saying, "Hi-oh, are you doing?" I suppose that means, "Hello, how are you doing?" I'm doing relatively well. Is solo race harder now that they have preferred jobs? Well, they always had preferred jobs. I don't necessarily know if solo race is harder. I wouldn't necessarily say solo race is harder. The one exception maybe being the Dundorians, because the Dundorians don't... the Dundorians are all immigration. So you have to keep them very happy to keep them growing, so you can't sort of necessarily do tyranny with them. But yeah. Multi-race, you've got challenges associated, you've got to keep them apart from each other. You've got to keep them segregated, otherwise they cause problems. Whereas single race is easier because you just don't have to worry about brawls. That was always the thing with single race, is that you just didn't have to worry about brawls. And that really hasn't changed. That's still the same shimding. And we did have a period in here where I was like losing people real fast to brawls. There's a reason I have a mass grave that holds 98 when I already have a mass grave over here somewhere. Had a mass grave over here that holds 15 and 3 graveyards. We had some problems with brawls earlier, so Trisha says, yeah, I only like human too. Don't know why. But yeah, definitely had a lot of problems with other species not appreciating humans in this city earlier in the run. I've had to fix it by segregating all the regions, or all the races except for the Dundorians. The dwarves can live with the humans. Well, the dwarves can actually also live with the Cretonians, but Cretonians are out in Farmlandville, so there's no industry out there for the dwarves to work in. The dwarves like industry. And I'm probably overbuilding housing right now, but could be worse. But yeah, I think single races is still probably what I would recommend to new people, is try to focus on one race at a time. Even maybe when you're dealing with a multicultural city like this, try to focus on one race at a time. Dwarves are a friend of the world. Not. Yeah, the dwarves are friendly to most of the races. Come to properties. Their preferences. Dwarves don't start fights with the Cantors, the Cretonians, the humans. They don't start fights with the Mivians. They don't start fights with the Toppy. The thing to remember is everyone else will start fights with them except for the humans and Cretonians. If you go the other way around, can't just run everyone with Dundorians, because other people... Oh, and Cantors don't start fights with the dwarves, the Dundorians. But the Toppy, for example, start fights with everyone. Toppy start fights with everyone. Mivians basically start fights with everyone. The Gothimi start fights with everyone who's not the Mivians, but the Mivians start fights with them, so... The standard trifecta, if you want to run multicultural, is Cretonians, because you can have them with Dundorians, because you can have them with Cretonians and humans, and then humans, because you can have them with Dundorians. Technically, you could have them with the Cretonians as well, but you usually keep the humans and the Cretonians separate, because the Cretonians will start stuff with the humans. So in this case, I have humans north of the farms and Cretonians south of the farms, and that is working. Well, the elves are arguably not friendly with everyone. They're unappreciative of everyone else. Is what I think I showed there. Sub 50% with everyone. Definitely don't like those. Don't like the dwarves. Right? If you think the Talabi are basically elves and they don't like the dwarves. And they don't like the humans. Something about the fires industry making the forests not safe places. Okay, well, we've definitely got more housing for the humans. Oh, I have housing issues. Okay. Although I think it might be because people are living in areas they're not supposed to. Or trying to live in places they're not supposed to. So where are you homeless? Yeah, that makes sense because your homes are up in the north and you're down south. Yeah. And you're off in the north in the middle, and your homes are down south. And the humans, on the other hand, okay, we've got people in the west who are trying to work service buildings. They probably shouldn't be trying to work. Leave those for the Mivians that live in the area. Although that's maybe an argument for getting more Mivians in, so there's more Mivians to work the Mivian jobs. Oh, and I suppose the Mivians are going to want at least one water pump, if not two. Although I don't need them yet, so I'm just going to spend those jobs. Okay. Blood of the innocent, my dear queen. I've been instructed to convey this message here from Mission Slimplok the Merciless that has come to visit. I quote, "Give me my stuff, you ugly, terrible person, or I'll come there and take that and make a hat out of your genitals." That is all. There's a list with its demands here. Give me the items, I can deliver them for you. Well, I'd prefer not to give them thousands upon thousands of items if I can. So we are going to check how scary Slimplok the Merciless is. 120 soldiers. The garrison right now is 200. Actually, we're going to go ahead and pay that because I don't think that's a fight we're going to win. Fine, we will pay up. And that probably reminds me I need to expand the garrison. The garrison needs to expand. Keep the neighbors from causing problems. Plus, there is an environment. I think every race has it. Preferred army size for the city is, I believe, a quarter. So the amount of people trained to be soldiers in the city, the races wanted to be a quarter of them. Some of the races also want specific training. So the Dondorians want melee, the Garmithi want melee. I don't know if that's melee training of their race or melee training of the army. And then the Talapi want archery. But the army is pretty easy to fulfill. The training is a little bit difficult. And probably because of its difficulty, not worth doing. One fulfillment point is not very valuable, but training enough to have a quarter is pretty easy. Is it possible to conquer by diplomacy? One of the Twitch chatters asks. Yes. We haven't done that in this run. We did actually do that in the last run. So what you would do if you want to say conquer by diplomacy is you go find someone that you want to unite with. So unite is how you conquer someone with the power of money. And it's not necessarily cheap. So for example, to integrate this one province, one region minor, it costs 123 million. So diplomacy can be used to integrate people, but it is expensive. Right, I have nothing of worth sufficient to offer for that deal. So it's more money than I would take to integrate that one region. So inevitably, to be rich enough to do that, you usually have to take some people over with force. And I suppose if you do enough diplomacy, because it's showing us an opinion modifier here, I think if you have enough opinion that you could eat that and still maintain a certain degree of positive, you might technically be able to barter unity without having to pay the full amount, but that would still take a lot, right? Having to overcome a negative 34 opinion modifier is going to be hard to do with diplomacy alone. You're going to have to throw a good chunk of the change at them for most of these people. And none of these ones, for example, are going to be much cheaper. It's based on their size, so yeah, the cheapest, that's the cheapest one. The one region here is the cheapest one, and it's 100-something million. 123 million, yes. For the cheap one, 123 million, and then for the really expensive one, we're up in 500,000. Basically 500 million denarii to integrate these miners. Although there is also, I suppose, a third method to expand diplomatically. And this is sort of mixing the sword with the diplomacy, sword and pen. For every region, there is a support meter. So by default, this is support to you. So you can see here, I haven't sent anyone to raise support for me in that region. Regions that aren't controlled by you, but are very supporting of your integration, are prone, not necessarily to defecting to you, but at least prone to defecting to independence. Think Texas and Mexico sort of situation, where you can convince regions to break off of other powers using diplomacy, and then you go send in the troops to negotiate their integration. I suppose that's one way. In fact, that's probably the way I should be trying to expand at this point. If I were to do more diplomacy, if thinking about diplomatic route. Because most of my neighbors are big enough and scary enough that I am not going to win against them in a fight. But that big, large size is maybe their own detriment, right? I could probably get enough diplomacy to, say, convince this region to declare independence, and then be strong enough to send the troops in to take it for me. That would then open up, say, grabbing the territories over here, because we then have a road connection sort of thing. That's definitely something to be thinking of going forward. But yeah. Back to the moment in the city. We've got admin going on. Did I get enough? Admin photo 1, yes. So I can pick up organization 2. And execution. I need more people in the city. So let's bring another 50 humans in. Try to bring another 50 humans in. So I go up to 600. Gets us some that, and then what's the farms looking like? I've got 107 farms. And 72. Probably have more Catonians than I really need. Got plenty of housing for Catonians, so maybe if I need more food, I should do more farms. Oh, the bakers are looking fine. Bakers looking fine. We already did the math. That's about the right amount for the grain. Actually, let's do another, because planning on doing a bunch of resources at the moment, so let's bring a bunch of humans in. Twitch chat saying, did I finish a game? In my case, I have not done a world conquest in Songs of Six. There's a couple of people on Reddit who have done a world conquest where they conquer the world. So I usually consider a game finished in Songs of Six when I don't see a route for more expansion. The last game I finished was in the previous version. It was version 70. We're now in version 71. So that one, we finished that because it was time to change versions. The previous two, I had revolts, like, torch half the city. And I decided that was a good place to call those cities done, because there wasn't going to be a realistic way to fix the cities as it was. Yeah, everyone has their own sort of definition of what a finished city is in this game. Okay, so we're building up a bunch more housing. I think that's enough to move on to the next step, which is I'm going to build a library. Assume I've got the stuff to build a library. Do we need a library, or do I want innovation? Library would help with embassies, but I don't actually have any embassies in power yet. If I get enough of a library, I can improve the laboratory, which is the innovation building. Those are the services, or this is architecture? Architecture. Although I have enough knowledge, I could just pick up paved roads and swimming pools and such. And I'm not sure we're at the point where I'm going to splurge for sculptures. Or do I just do innovation right now? Which would be more lab. Because with that I can pick Globedine or Beasts. We don't start with mushrooms. Oh yeah, and I was thinking paper and cutstone. Cutstone in particular, because a bunch of the upgrades I'm going to need is gated by cutstone, right? Yeah, so let's do a small lab. This is going to be a big lab, to be fair. Small by my standards. It's under admin? Yeah. So it's like 12 by 25. Make it the same size as the housing block. And these buildings are pretty simple, it's just stations. Getting yellow in the middle, which I don't quite want. So those exterior ones, I think, make sense at that size. Might want to break the interior ones down a bit. Okay, that'll be enough for 80 workers. Okay, that'll work for walls. Supporting walls. Oh, wood furniture, we got that. that should be enough to pick up masonry, paper making, and probably do some just capacity upgrades. You need to have a bunch of the costs associated with stuff, so. Oh, I'm thinking about that new region. I took this region over, and I'm thinking it would make a good place to make fruit. Probably also a good place for veg. Like, it's arguably a better place for... Oh, actually, no, I was holding on to it for cotton production. Yes, cotton production. Okay, I've hit the size... Yeah, I've hit the size of an empire where I need to get up to the next tier so I can get some promotions for the nobles. I need to get 300 more people in the town. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Okay, if I'm going to operate this fishery, I'm going to want some storage. Some auxiliaries. There we go. Another 14 fisherman jobs on that side. I'll do some over this side as well. Oh, they haven't finished clearing this side out yet. Never mind. And yeah, I won't flood the middle of the island yet. Let's go and activate that job. Okay, laboratory should be done soon. Got everything delivered, so there's no delivery shortage. Fisheries under construction. Oh, I'm losing clothes. Yeah, I should probably expand the clothiers. Making enough leather. Making like 15 leather. Probably does me... Yeah, I think the next industry we need to make is I need to make a tailoring industry. Technically, not the exact setup I want, but this, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. You get sort of spacing ideas. Was up to the road, okay. And if we continue that sort of logic in the horizontal roads, 3, 4, and 5. And then obviously we're not doing a bakery or a... I copy-paste a little of the road in there, but that's fine. Actually gives me an idea of where I want to get it out to. We're not doing a bakery or a... Can I word? Yes, we're not doing a bakery ration maker. I am doing weaving and tailoring in here. Crafting weaver. Weaver on the bottom side. Oh, I suppose the weaver does have a pretty similar shape to the baker. Yeah, I think it's actually going to look a lot like the bakery, to be fair. I don't know how I did the bakery. No, not quite. It's going to look more like that. Oh, I see. And yeah, so the purpose of this is to, close. So I can move it off into leather production. Leather is a little bit hard to scale the way that I want to. One short. Of course, it doesn't go that small. Yeah, we'll just plop in there. Not ideal. There we go. So 68 employees work in this location for making clothes or making cloth, and then north I'm going to do clothes, which should be in the other type of maker, tailor. So optimal workbench size is this one. go. And then I just need to put in storage, sufficiently large storage, which I'll put vaguely in the middle. So, and then I only put one storage in here, so that's the storage we're doing. And again, we'll do 4 pairs of double doors. The in access and exiting the building. Okay, I'll let that build. Probably get the ratio between the weaver and the tailor wrong. And then obviously I am going to want to have some fiber, which is what I left this place for. Oh, I'm going to need more people. In particular, we're going to want more Dondorians. So let's go to 100 Dondorians. And we'll bring in some more humans. And then tech-wise, I have gained 20 innovation. That is enough for me to pick up Globetine pasture. Make the Nevians happy by allowing them to make some eggs for people. Then in crafting, I need a little bit more to pick up masonry. May also want to pick up papermaking for the future, but masonry so we can start making cut stone using imported, well, taxed stone from the Empire. Now employ over 50 in our fisheries. That's good. Should be running some more fish. Oh, that's what that is what that warehouse is for. Yeah. Although no one's assigned to go collect fish from the fisheries from it. Let's fix that. Yeah, 56 of those. Let's go up to 100 Vivians. Innovations are up to 65, so yeah, pick up masonry, we can pick up paper maker, probably going with the bowyer. At that point I should probably save innovation, because most of the stuff in here, so this is already picked up a guard post. Oh, I should pick up the archer range. Pick up the archer range. Most of the stuff in here we haven't done is knowledge, or it is making industries better, unless I want to be unlocking some of the stuff we probably don't need anytime soon, which is like mechanics and jewelers. No, I suppose it would be mechanics and jewelers, and the weapons, the metal weapons. Everything else is just make stuff better, or everything else we do is make stuff better, right? So. And then the big one for that would be grain. And in refining, baking. And then over here, ration making. Or that's telling me the ration making probably isn't worth doing right now. Baking probably is. Oh, we've already invested a little bit into it, so we spent 4, and we're probably getting more than more than 4 workers worth of output. And I haven't done that in grain. All the grain probably would be worth it, yeah. Master of the Bakers has passed away. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the game. I'm gonna make sure that has not taken my noble away. That has taken a noble away. So 1 Dundorian. I'm gonna go find a Dundorian. Dorian is about to be blessed with noblehood. In fact, actually, do you have any houseless Dundorians? Poor, poor, homeless Dundorian. You are about to be blessed with being a noble. You've been blessed as a noble. That doesn't give you a house, just you're now blessed as a noble. In fact, that kind of forbids him from getting houses, because I'm too lazy to build any noble chambers. This is going to be my fiber warehouse. As the weaver is always going to turn the fiber into cloth. It's going to get stored in the middle. The middle is also going to hold clothes. So it's going to be cloth and clothes in the middle, fiber at the bottom. And then if that is a sustainable method of making clothes, which hopefully it is, because otherwise our army might start deserting, at least if we balance our weight, hopefully it'll be in the right ratio. I can swap the existing tailor over here that's making clothes over to armor. So I could always do with more leather armor for the troops. This one's done. Don't gather grain, instead gather... And fiber is there. Max fiber. So we've got a storage of 7,500 grain, or 7,500 fiber. We should be getting tax of that. Do I have enough money to make you more tax? Yes. Send me fiber. Okay, the warehouse probably isn't actually big enough for that level of fiber production, but we're going to receive fiber. Might actually go turn that down in the future. Because it's 1,000 fiber a day. I think it technically comes... Most of the crops, I think, ship once a year. I don't know if I've got any fiber in the town. And then you are not gonna be that. Are cloth. And clothing. I suppose that means the existing warehouse that's providing clothing can stop doing clothing. Or not, the existing one doing cloth can stop doing cloth, because there's no cloth production in the area. There is a little bit of clothing in the area over here. Well, I can definitely turn the clothing down. Do 1 there instead of 3. Freeze up warehouses for other things. Notably, bows. Houses. War horses. Well, they're not necessarily horses in this game, I suppose, war beasts. Now I have over 50 tailors, which is probably more than I need here for the moment. So actually, I can turn you off until we've got the weaver done. Doesn't do any good to try to convert fabric to clothing if we've got no fabric. Yeah, it looks like a tax collection coming in. That might mean we're getting speed down. Our barge. I'd like to know when the next tax season is, I suppose. Should be getting taxed at some point of a whole bunch of fiber. Here's the yearly report. You know, is I gonna need more Dendorians. And we'll bring more humans in to backfill. Given that I don't have enough Dendorians for what I want. And now employ a lot of otherwise very idle weavers. The weavers, if things were working, the weavers would be converting... I'm not going to worry about the fiber incomes. We're definitely making enough fiber. Having enough fiber collected to buy taxes. So ignore that. So more about the cloth produce. So they'd be producing 2 cloth per day per weaver. So about 136 cloth would be being made. I swap you to cloth. This is actually 4 per day, so I want like 34 at most. I want some cloth for some other stuff, so we're actually gonna set this fairly low. I'm gonna set this like 20. So I've overbuilt the tailor. If anything, I need more weavers. Yeah, I probably need more grain production. So let's get another grain farm going. Got a little bit of ridge, but it's mostly till over there. Oh, obviously, don't go on the Infertile. The Infertile's gonna be terrible. Make do with it on the live up, but keep off the Infertile. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be grain farm there. I suppose I would need another Kryptonian, probably one in the Kryptonian neighborhood up north. There's all this nice rich land up here on the other side of the mines. Although I'm going to do my best to resist actually mining the mines. The changes to job preference, the mines are very unfulfilling for people. Do not like working the mines. Even the races that like working the mines don't like working the mines. Yeah, I'm waiting for my... I want to confirm the fiber comes in. Also kind of confirming that we don't have enough warehouse space, because I think we should be getting enough in a single load of fiber just to fill the warehouse. It's not quite what we want, but it'll give me an idea for what's wrong. We're gonna build more grain. I might... Yeah, that might be what we do, is I'm using innovation not necessarily to... So I don't need to make the bakery bigger. Yeah. So it won't be this season. I'll wait for next harvest. So I have an idea how much I can make the bakery bigger without harming stuff. Right now we've got no one complaining about food because I can always go eat the rations, and we are still net producing the rations, even people eating it. Here I'm net producing fish. And then obviously more meat making would not be terrible. No more harvest season. Well, the fiber tax is probably fiber season, so we are in the grain farm harvest season, so it can't be too far. And I'm definitely still making too much grain in comparison to the amount that we're converting into bread, apparently. So I suppose I just need to buff the bakeries. Or build another bakery. Building another bakery actually isn't too much of a stretch. I suppose I will. Let's go build a second bakery down here. And then we'll end up staffing that probably with Kryptonians purely. Yeah, I suppose bring another 100 Kryptonians in to support that. Okay, I'm getting fiber from somewhere. Okay, that's not how that's supposed to work, but... Okay. Yeah, I just decided every odd person in the city go grab the fiber out of the throne room. It's supposed to be at this warehouse and not at the throne room, but it went to the wrong place. Whoops. Because I put too many people in that one singular warehouse. Let's sort itself out. Pasture-wise, I got 21 pastures, 27 woodcutters, so I don't technically need any tilapia, any more tilapia. Probably don't need more Cantonians. I brought more Cantonians in, so I have people to work that. Put that to a more sane number. It's still an auto-assign, so if it really, really needs more, we'll go get more. But yeah, we're running a fiber over, so the weaver should be spooling up to more productive numbers. There it is. Then means we'll be making clothes, which means I'm not going to be worried about the clothes running out. In fact, I can probably distribute more clothes to people to make them happier. We got that bakery going, which will help with food. Because apparently I'm slightly undersupplying the baked goods. But for the moment, I think this is where we're going to go ahead and put the part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we're going to continue expanding technology in the next one. I've got 3 unused administration. I got 45 unused innovation. I have 20 unused knowledge. And I'm not sure I have enough of any of those for what I think I want to spend in due time. Obviously, I want to be expanding and upgrading our markets, our food stalls, building the blood sports, improving the toilets, entertainment. We want to make the city a grand old city. So that when we get to the point where we can get more titles, which isn't far off, we're only about 100 off for the next order. It is a capital city worthy of the empire it rules over. Because right now it's not actually that much bigger than some of the cities it's ruling over. In fact, what's our size? We're actually smaller than our biggest regional city. Our biggest regional city is actually bigger than the capital right now. And it would not take much to make it bigger. And apparently I've got so much workforce here. Yeah, so much workforce here. I could expand the fiber production even more. Yeah, so we're going to be ruling over an empire. So we need a capital worthy of the empire. That's what we're going to be working on in the... Well, we'll continue to work on the next one. If you're watching on YouTube, that will be tomorrow. The next part is up. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. This is the middle of the stream where I traditionally go make a new cup of tea. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. And bye for now.